This woman had already endured 3 days and nights of relentless torment, yet the man still refused to let her go. Lisa was shoved violently into a wooden crate and pushed into a pit that had been dug in advance. As the soil slowly covered the box, the air inside grew dangerously thin. In total darkness, she could only pray in despair. No one knew how much time had passed before a deep rumbling collapse echoed around her. When she regained consciousness on the cold, damp ground, she realized she had fallen into the sewer. Determined not to be discovered by her tormentors, Lisa forced herself to stand despite the searing pain. She drank a few mouthfuls of filthy water, just enough to regain some strength, and scavenged a few ragged clothes along with an old lighter. Then, faint chanting reached her ears. Following the sound, she discovered a hidden door deep inside the sewer that led directly to a church kitchen. From that day on, Lisa hid underground during the day and snuck into the kitchen at night to steal food. One evening, however, she was caught by the priest who had been watching her. Yet instead of driving her away, he offered her food and clothing. Seeing her guarded expression, he gently handed her a Bible, hoping to comfort her wounded soul. Although Lisa was moved, hatred had long since taken root in her heart. Her first target was the father of the 3 sadistic brothers. Once, she had been offered to him as a gift, subjected to unspeakable abuse and humiliation. Now she deliberately revealed herself near the church, luring him into the sewers. As he hesitated in confusion, Lisa struck, knocking him unconscious and binding him tightly. When the old man awoke to find himself restrained, Lisa coldly picked up a stun baton. His screams echoed through the tunnels as she shocked him again and again, even forcing the weapon into his mouth until he was writhing in agony. Finally, she shoved the pipe cleaning machine down his throat and switched it on, ending his life. Lisa's expression remained unreadable as she watched him die. Her revenge had only just begun. Her next target was George. She slipped her pendant into his coffee to bait him into the sewers. When he followed, Lisa ambushed him. She initially intended to castrate him but decided that was far too merciful. Instead, she carved open his face and abdomen with a knife, stuffing rotting food into his wounds. Infection soon set in, swelling his legs like wooden posts. He died slowly, consumed by pain. The following victim was Alan. While he was partying at a bar, Lisa slipped a drug into his drink. As the drug took effect, Alan stumbled to the restroom to vomit. Lisa appeared, kicking him to the ground and shoving his head into the toilet. Despite his frantic struggle, he was powerless against her. Meanwhile, their mother, Anna, returned home to find the house in disarray. Strange music drifted from the basement. Cautiously, she descended the stairs, straight into Lisa's trap. Anna was stuffed into a wooden box, destined to be buried alive, left to die in terror and despair. At the same time, Pete rushed home upon hearing of his father's death. When he discovered a massive hole in the basement, he realized at once that Lisa was still alive. Armed with a gun, he descended into the sewers, where he soon stumbled upon George's corpse. Before he could recover from the shock, Lisa struck again, knocking him unconscious. When Pete awoke, he found himself tightly bound with ropes. Lisa stood before him, her eyes burning with vengeance. In the film's final moments, Lisa, covered in wounds and utterly exhausted, dragged herself toward the U.S. Embassy. Elsewhere, the police pried open the box imprisoning Anna. Curled up inside, Anna's face was twisted in horror and despair. Having lost her husband and sons, survival now felt more like punishment than mercy.